I passed my driving test first time, and then at that time I had a scooter, and I passed my scooter test both first times. You know. The scooter test was mad. You come out of the driving centre and you go left, 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 and then like you have to go right, 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 right. It's just a square around this like big building. And they in them days they used to say, well, someone's going to jump out in front of you. I don't know whether they still do it, and you've got to see him and stop. But like you can see him about like 100 yards down the road. The geezer standing behind a tree or something, so you know when he's going to come out. Yeah. But yeah, my driving test and then my scooter. Yeah.
Never take one of those. I did have driving lessons. I got about a mile up the road, and a bus was behind me. And I looked through the mirror. And the driving instructor told me to turn right, so I didn't. I went further on, stopped the car, got out, and that was it.
The second time, there was a lady stood at the side of the road. I saw her, I watched her, I drove past her. And then I failed. I said, why have I failed? There was a pedestrian standing at the side of the road. I said, yes, I saw her. She might have stepped off. I said, she didn't. But you didn't sound your horn to warn her. I said, mate, if I sounded my horn at every pedestrian in Sutton standing on the edge of a pavement, I would have my hand on the button all the way through Sutton. Failed.
My first fail was amazing because we just had a new bed the day before my driving test, and we lived in a small terrace house, so the only way to get the bed into the bedroom was to chuck the old one through the window and pull the new one in. Well, in the process of doing that, we smashed the window. So, of course, I'd gone off the next day for my driving test, come back, failed, and Keith was stood there with the flowers and the bottle of wine and the car, you know, well done. And I failed my driving test. I threw myself upstairs, threw myself on the bed. It was dark, it must have been winter, and I'm sobbing into my pillow, thinking I'm the world's biggest failure because I can't pass my driving test. And then I suddenly became aware that somebody was watching me, and I just sort of looked up at the window. There was a bloke on a ladder with a pane of glass in his hand, sort of looking vacant at me, thinking, this woman's crazy. I was like, what are you looking at? And I went and locked myself in the bathroom and just continued to rant and sob.
Oh, I failed the first two. The first one I failed for undue care and hesitancy. It means I was overcautious. The second one I failed for going over a red light, I think. Well, it was amber red. And the third one I passed. And I thought I drove worse on the third one than the first two.
It did take me 3 goes. The first time I had a driving instructor who came out and he says, we need to take you out on the road. And he was a very thin, almost rodent-like man in a bright purple suit. And he didn't want to indulge in any conversation at all. We went out and I did a 3-point turn in about 8. And there was a lady in a car parked up, and she said, she was constantly tooting her horn, constantly. And what happens is I reversed back as I was doing the 3-point turn, touched the curb, and he failed me on that.
Are you mad? No. I did have a driving lesson when I was on a caravan site with my stepdad, my stepfather, and I nearly knocked into electric cables on the side of this caravan and nearly smashed the car up. So that were it.
You never went back?
No. If I start learning how to drive here, and I'm telling you now, you keep off the road. No, you keep off the pavement, you keep on the road and keep on the pavement.
I think it took 2 times, or did I take 3? I failed it first time, definitely, which is very off-putting because you think, you assume you're going to fail again. I thought I was definitely going to fail when I went and passed my test. And I think what helped was, halfway through the test, it snowed heavily and the windscreen filled up with snow even though the windscreen wipers were going. I just turned to the instructor and I said, I'm very sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to stop. And I pulled in, signalled and pulled into the side of the road and cleared my windscreen and then got back in again. And then we pulled off again and the snow had mostly stopped by then. It was like a heavy... And I wonder whether he passed me because I had the sense to stop instead of carrying on regardless.
I passed on the 3rd attempt. I think through life, you grow by your failure. Failing isn't a problem. Failing doesn't mean that you are a lesser person. To fail is to learn by mistake, by error. We all make mistakes. If we learn by our mistakes, we come out stronger at the other end. So Failing isn't a biggie.